Can anyone confirm? Are you able to see my screen? Okay. So yesterday we discussed like how we can create an object and what all are the way we are creating the object, and in that object like how we are doing the typecasting and all. So till 25 we discussed yesterday. I'm revising from this 20. So in this manager, this is just a Java have a one features is a object creation. So if you'll go for this here, Java object create. So this is a class and object. So how we will create the object and how we will assign this, how we can call from one class and other class based on this reference object and all. So these all are the way we can create an object, and in that we will assign this castings and all. So how we will do? So that we completed till 24th yesterday, but here we are continuing again from this manager 20. So this is the package of section 7 casting 2. In this casting 2 we have a class manager 20. So in that manager we have a static type 1 method is there inside this class. So this is a static type test1 method without parameters, and this is returning some C. So C is from class which is coming, and this C type they are returning, and that they are creating some object, but we will see later. First compiler will go for the main method. So main method is available here. What we are doing, we are creating the object of d1 equal to test1. So this test1 method is calling. So test1 no parameters method is available. Yes, it's available in line number 4. But before that we are getting some error. Mismatch cannot be converted from C to D. Why? Because this is the D and this is the d1 equal to some test we are doing. So this having C type. So this method is having C type return, and this object we are trying to create from the D class. So this D class directly can't be converted from the C class. So this typecasting won't be applicable from higher to lower. So D is suppose higher class A, B, C, D, and C is lower class. So from higher to lower can't be convert. So in that cases manually we have to provide here. So if you'll go for the same program of manager 21, so in that manager 21 what we are providing manually we have mentioned here, this is a D type, like we need to cast from this test1 should have mentioned this will be converted from this D type, like a D type of the class. So this test method will be applicable in this case, and then it will go from this line number 4, and we will create an object of a1 equal to new D. So this new D means new object has created from the D, and this a1, so this a1 reference we are assigning as a return a1. So this a1 from which type? Either C type. So we have to mention because compiler wants C type return. So we have to manually mention here as the C type here. If you are not providing, then in that cases line manager 20 we will get two error. One is this one, mismatch conversion from A to C, and this will also have a type mismatch conversion from C to D. So A to C, because C to A is also from lower higher to lower, and this is C to D also from higher to lower. So this mismatch conversion will happen. So if you want to resolve this issue while we are creating the object class, in that cases manually we have to provide this is the D type method we are trying to create an object. In that cases this is from C type because compiler want a C type return here. And we'll go for this next one here. So this next one, section 7 casting 2 manager 22 program. So we have a main method, so compiler will go for the main method first. So in main method we seen like a four object has created. One is a1, so a type a1 reference new b, so object has created from this b class, and then b1 equal to here creating the reference of a, so a is new b. So either which type of conversions we need, because of based on this a1 reference we are calling, so a1 to b, so we need to mention here the b, or else if you won't provide this b, then you will get a error. What error? Type conversion. Big type conversion, like cannot convert from a to b. So we have to mention like this, then it will be converted. And here like same we have created object of a2 equal to new a, so the new object created for a. Now what we are doing, again we created a reference b2 equal to a2 reference, so this whatever this object has created, same that will be assigned in this b2 also. But we need to mention here which type of object I want to create, either b type of, so this b type in this we have to mention. If you want mention, then type conversions error will happen. And then in this 23, this is manager 23, we have a main method. So this three object is there, one is class a object, other is class b, and class c object. So suppose in the single package, in same package we have a multiple class are there, so any class or other class we can access, or we can create any other class object creations also. So in this manager 20 we are creating the object creation of a b c, so that is also valid, anywhere we can create in the package, inside the package. So we have a1 equal to new c, means object has created for this new c. Then b1 equal to a, so this a1 reference, whatever the object has created, same reference we are taking, but we need compiler want what type of object you want to create. So b type, so manually we have to mention this is a b type object we want to create from this a1 reference. Like that, c1 equal to a1, so a1 is the reference of what type, a type. Now we are converting from a to c, so either we have to manually we have to mention here, we need to create a object from a reference, and this is the c1 class, so c have to mention the class name before that, then sop will be printed. If you want use, then we have a type conversion issue will come. This manager 24 we have a main method. So inside this main method, one object has created a1 equal to new b, so this object has created, and then sop of 11 is printing, and after that we have a b1 equal to reference we are creating, so a1 reference. So directly we can't create an object like this, so you have to mention what type of object you are creating. So from a1 reference you are taking, and you are creating the b object, so you have to mention here b. If you want remove, if you remove that, then you will get an error. Why? Because of multiple markers at this line, this value local variable v1 is not used, and this mismatch conversion also, so we are getting two errors. So mostly we will get a conversion as error. So like that we have a c1 equal to new c, so we have to mention this c, and then based on this reference or by the b1 reference we can create a object that way also. This is a manager 25, package is section 7 casting 2. So in this casting we have a, if you want to go for the casting just details, you have a here, just go for this casting in Java. So in this casting we have a type casting, we already told last time, 2 days back I think. So there are two type of casting is there, widening casting and narrowing casting. So if you will go from this lower to higher, it will be and widening, and if you are going from this higher to lower, that will be narrowing casting. So widening casting will happen automatically, and widening casting also we can say implicit casting or upcasting, and narrowing casting also we can say explicit casting or downcasting, or manually we need to provide this. So in that cases we are manually provided what type of data type we need. So casting mostly is used for this convert from one primitive data type to another primitive data type. So this is a casting topic. So same we are using in this object. While we are creating the object, there are multiple way we can create the object, or we can access inside class or others inside the same package of other class also. So how we are doing and how casting will work in this object creations also. So that topic we are checking here. So this is the casting first package. We already seen all those widening and narrowing. Now here we are checking this object type castings and object creations. So how it will happen. So this manager, this is a class of manager 25. We have a main method. We have a four object. One is a1 equal to new b, means b type object we created. Now what we are doing in line number 9, we are creating the object of b class b1 equal to from a1 reference. So a1 is b type, so this is new b object we are calling here, but either we have creating the b1 reference here. This is a b1 b class and b1 reference, and object of a1 reference we are calling. So this object is new b type of object we created here in line number 7. The same object we are referring here, but either we have to compiler need to mention here what type of object we are creating for this. So this is a class of b object we are creating. Now here we have again c1 equal to, we are taking from this a1 reference. So a1 is a new b, so this same will come inside here also a1, but he want to convert to the C class. So C1 equal to new C. So here we have to manually provide this open braces, close braces, uh, and then we have a C type. Then D1 equal to new D. So he also want from this reference. Only one object has created, new B. So B type object has created, and this is the reference. Based on the reference, they are creating multiple object, B object, B reference object, C reference object, D reference object. So explicitly you have to declare what type of object you want to create. Then compiler will know, else we have error. In that case, if you will run this program here, this SOP of 11, 12, 22, 33 and 44 you will get, because there is no compilation error. Exception in this one, class casting exception. So yeah, so this one section 7b cannot be cast to this section 7c. So section 7b having this unnamed load method. Okay, so if we are running here 11 we printed, because a1 equal to new b is fine. Now 11 is printed, then b1 equal to b a1 reference, so this is also fine. And then we are b to b and b to a. B is fine, A is fine. Now C. So this is A1 from B to C. B to C is happening, and B to B, B to A. B is happening B to C and B to D. So B to D exception in Java class cast exceptions is coming, and this cannot be cast to this class section 7 cast unnamed module loader app class of section C. So this is for line number 11 we have C equal to new C of A1. So this A1 is a B type. So while we are converting from B to C, so this is a object of B type, right? Line number 7 we have a new object of B type. Now directly we are creating here object. So this SOP has printed. Now this taking this reference of new B, and we are creating the object of B class. So this is also fine. This output has printed. And now line number 11 what we are doing, we created the object of B type, so we are calling in this C type. So in that case we have some casting error is coming. Why? Because class cast exception is there, which is from this thread main. And see here section 7 casting to B cannot be cast to this section 7 casting to dot C. So B cannot be cast to the C. So there is some casting issue is coming. So this concept we will see in this exception while we consider after this some topic. We will go for the exception. There we will see why casting and how we will handle this class casting exception and what is the exceptions and all. In this sections manager 26, this is a main method. We have a object created of A new B. Now we are doing just a minute. Now we are doing we created the object A1 equal to new B. So new B object has created in line number 6. Now what we are doing, we are taking a reference of A1, and then we again creating the object of B. B1 equal to A1 reference. So manually we have provided. Then this SOP will print. Now again we have a A2 reference new A. So this new object created from A1 A2 equal to new A, and then what we are doing, we are creating the object from A2 reference, and B type of object we are creating B2 equal to new B. So we cannot cast A class A object into the B object. So if we run this program here, see in that cases also see this one is fine. A1 equal to new B is fine. We are creating the new B object here, and the reference is A1. After that we have a B1 equal to new A1 reference. So A1 is a new B type. So new B type object we are creating based on this B1 class here. So this is also fine. B1 reference we are creating the object of B. So this SOP will print it. Now what is happening, A2 equal to new A is fine. This is valid. So we are creating the object of new A. Now what we are doing, we are converting this A2 reference to B. So while we are converting from A to B, so in that cases we cannot cast A object into this B object. So this concept is a casting, class casting exception will come in this scenario. Like directly it's showing here, like class section 7 casting to A can't be cast to the class section 7 casting to B. So we have a class casting exception will come if you will run our SOP. If you want to print, in that cases we cannot cast A object into the B object, because this is A2 reference is part of A object, and we are taking this A object inside this B, so we can't cast this one. So this is casting concept which will come in this next topic. So we have a two thing, one is casting class cast exceptions and all, which will be coming in this exception part. So after this, maybe we have a exceptions concept will be there, where we will see like why casting is required and how we were doing class casting and all. But in that cases we will get a class casting exception there. Now we have a method manager 27. Inside this main method is there. Just we created the object of new B based on this A1 reference. So A1 reference, new object has created of B. Now this is instance of concept is come. So what is instance of in Java? So first we have to check what is instance of in Java. So see, the Java instance of operator is an operator which is used to test whether this object is an instance of this specific type or not, type of subclass, class or interface or not. So we will check these conditions. This interface operator is used to test whether this object is an instance of the specified type of class, object or interface. So in the instance of Java is also known as type comparison operators, because it compare the instance which type of it return either true or false. While we compare operators, comparison operators, in that cases either true or false will come. So we have to mention this true or false there. If we apply the instance operator with any variable, in that cases null value it return false. If null value it return false. So see this example here, we have a class simple is there, main method is there, simple s equal to new simple object has created. For this one, new simple object is created for this class. Now they are checking s is a reference, so s instance of is a operators, so s instance of simple one means s is a reference of simple object. So simple object is a class where one object is there, new simple. So they will check s is the instance of simple object. Yes, because s is a reference instance of simple class, this s1 class, simple one class. So this is true because they are comparing either this is there or not. If there, then this will be true. So the same thing here, they are telling instance of operator is used to test whether the object is an instance of an specific type or not, class. So a specific type should be class, subclass or interface, anything. So in that cases we have a class. So s is available, s is instance of a simple one class, yes. Or if subclass or interface is instance of there, then true, or else false will be there. So in that cases what we are checking, we created the same object, new b object means this is new b object has created, and this a1 reference is there, a1 equal to new a. Now what we are checking, a1 instance of a1 instance of b, a is the class, b is also class, c is also class, and d is also class. So what will be the answer? If you run this program, so instance will check either this is applicable for a class, b class, c class, d class. So this c, so a1 equal to new b, so we created the object of b class. So a1 instance of a is true. Why? Because of a is a class which is taking the reference of b class, new b object. A is the class, a1, a is the class which is taking a1 reference of and creating the object of b class, new b. So a1 instance of a is applicable because this also a1 is available inside this class a. So this will be applicable for this A class, and they are creating the object of B class here. A1 equal to new B means A1 is also applicable for this B class, because we are creating the object of B class here. So A instance of B is fine. Yes, A1 is the instance of A also, A1 is the instance of B also, but A1 is not instance of C, A1 is not instance of D. In that cases we will get a false. So if satisfied conditions means true, if not satisfied then false will be there. So here package section 7 casting 2 and manager 28, in that cases we will see what we are doing. We are creating the new object of class D with which reference? A class A1 reference. A class A1 reference we created new D of class, new object of D from the class D. Now what we are checking? A instance of object, A instance of A instance of B, A instance of C, A instance of D. So object is the parent class of all. So what is object? What is object class in Java? Because this is class, so whatever we declared, we are creating, this is object creation, this is object creation, but this is object class. So this is class because here we are using instance of class name, subclass name or interface name. In definition we seen, right? So what is object class? So the object class define the basic state and behavior that all object must have. So object class is the parent class of all the subclass, superclass and all. So if you'll go for this, see here, this object class is the main class which all have the sub, supers and all. For that, object class is the main class which will be there. So this object is the parent class of all the classes in Java by default. So object class is different thing, object creation is different thing. So here what we are doing, this is object class is there, this is object class and this is object creation. So object creation of A1 equal to new D means new D class object has created A1 A class A1 reference. Now if we'll run this, so what will happen? Object class is the parent which is applicable for all. So A1 is the instance of object. Yes, true, because object is either A1 type, B1 type, C1 type, D1 type, because see here object is the parent one, so which will satisfy all the conditions of A class, B class, C class, D class. So if you are checking instance of object, then always it will be true. So A1 reference, we are checking instance of object, so maybe this object will behave like A, so it's fine. This object will behave like D, is fine. If this object will behave like B or C, is not fine, but object maybe it can be A or D, so by default it will be true for this. Now A second line, this one 8, A1 instance of A is fine, yeah, because A class is there, we have a reference A1 and creating the object of new D class. So A1 reference of A is fine, instance of A is fine. Now A1 instance of B is also fine, C is also fine, D is also fine. Why? Because of we are creating the object of D here. In this case, before program, A1 and B1 was there, so new B we created. So till A1 instance of A is fine, B is fine, but here C and D won't be applicable in this case. But here what we are doing, directly we are creating A1 equal to new D, so new D object is created. So before that, whatever the child or subclass will be there, that all will be applicable for instance of. So if you'll go for this definition here, instance of, So see here, instance of is used for this test whether the object is an instance of a specified type, class or subclass or interface. So this will be applicable here. By default will be true for A, B, C, D, because we created class A1 reference, we are creating the object of D. So A is also fine, B is also fine, D is also fine, D is fine. But if you have E class, then will be false. F class will be false. Object class always should be the true. And then if you will go for this main method here, so we are creating the object of C class here, A1 equal to new C. So A is the class, A1 as a reference, new C is the object created of class C. So class A is instance of applicable, class B is instance of applicable, class C is instance of applicable, but class D is not instance of in that case, because we created the object of till C based on this A reference, A1 reference. So A is true, B is true, C is true, but D is false. And if you will do A1 this instance of a string is also class, in that case what will happen? So if you will do this one, you will get an error, incompatible type operand A and a string. So object is fine, object will be true by default. Now we have a manager 30. This is main method. In that main method, we have a object created based on this A1 reference new C object created. Now they are checking A1 instance of A is fine, B is also fine, C is also fine, but D won't be fine. So they will check the condition is satisfied. If satisfied, then it will go for this inside this braces. If not, then outside this condition. So yeah, A1 instance of A is fine means true. By default this is true. So because they satisfied this condition, then true. Then system.out.println to A. Now here A2 equal to A. So they are taking this reference and creating again A object. So either based on this A class A2 reference, they are creating the object A from where? From this C based on this A1 reference. So manually you need to provide this A, then only object will be created. Now what they are checking, again they are checking A1 instance of B. Yeah, it's fine because A1 reference has created class new C, so till B is also fine here. So this SOP will print. Now what they are doing, they again creating this object B2 equal to new B, because B type object is creating from A1 reference. So you have to mention what type of object you want to create. So B type of object you want to create, it's fine. Now this is also satisfied. Now this also A1 dot C. So this is new object created from C type. So this is also satisfied, this instance. And here this will be printed, and then C2 equal to new C object creating by using A1 reference. And then this condition won't be satisfied. Why? Because of object has created till new C and we are doing from this D. So in that cases this will be false. If you run this program here, so see, till now this will be valid. A is fine, B is fine, C is fine, but there is no D will be executed. So in this mostly we cover like what is object, how we will create the object, how we will cast the object, and what is instance, where to use instance. And what is object class. So object creation and object class is different thing. Now here we have a manager 31. We have a main method. This main method is void type, where void type means no return. A static method, this is a static. Once the classes will load, a static method will be loaded. This is void type means no return type. This method name is test1. have parameters, single parameter object type. So object type obj is a reference. Okay, so this is this instance of are there. So compiler will check either main method is there. Yeah, main method. So compiler will go for the main first. So what they are doing here, we are creating the object a1 equal to new a. So new object a1 created, a class created. Now again we have a b class object created, c class object created, and d class object created. Fine. So now line number 34, test1 a1 reference calling. A1 reference calling means a1 object created. So test1 method have one parameters is there. So it will go from line number 4. So test1 method a1 object has created. So a1 reference. So this is object type. So object is the parent class. So any of the object reference will be applicable here. So object a1 will come here. Now obj is an instance of a is applicable. Yes, applicable. Why? Because we created an object of a1 is a object of a class, new a. So this a1 is applicable for this instance, means obj they are checking this instance of a is fine. Yeah, because this a will be assigned here. So this object is a type of object, because in this test parameters in main method we have a reference. So based on the a reference they are comparing obj instance of a. Yes, fine. Now this SOP will print again what they are doing, a1 equal to object, creating the a object based on this reference is fine. Now again they are checking obj instance of b. So obj is the parent class, so which will be applicable for all b, a, b, c, d, x, y, z, any class will be applicable. And then in all this SOP they are creating this object creation. So in that case if you will run here program, so see this, all are the obj. So obj a will be printed, then a and b will be printed, and abc will be printed, and then abc cd will be printed in this case, because obj dot instance we are checking. So obj is the parent class, so parent class will be applicable for all the subclasses, because object class having this, all the subclasses will be applicable in that case. So here what we are doing, this test method, because everywhere we are calling this test method. If you will go for the main method, we are calling test1 a1, then test2 a2, then test3 a3, and test4 a4. So a4 while we calling, so all this method will be executed in test4. This also will be executed, because only in single test method we have all this method is there, one method, two method, three method, and four method. So first case a, only a will be printed because we created the object of a. But second case we are creating the object of b, so a and b will be printed. Third case we are creating the object of c, so a, b, c will be applicable. And fourth case we are creating the object of d, so a, b, c, d will be applicable. See here. So SOP of 34 only a, SOP of test 35 AB, and this for this ABC and ABCD. So now we have class P is there. Now we have class Q. Q extend P. Class P have int I. Class Q have extend P. So class Q have J. Now class manager 32. So in this main method we are creating p1 equal to new p. So p1 object we created, class P object we created, and then we are doing p1 dot I. So based on this reference, if I am doing, so this I is non-static. So non-static directly we can't access in main method. So based on this object reference we can call. So if you use p1 dot I, so default method will be printed for this I. Now again we created the object inside this main method of q. So q also have non-static method, non-static variable j, but inside that I also will be there because extend is happening. So extend means inherit the property from this parent class. So inside this q, int I and int j will be there. So if you use SOP of q done, because directly we can't access, both are non-static here. So once the object is created, based on the reference we can call in static method. So reference is q1, so q1.i and q1.j. So both by default value will be printed. And after that again we are creating line number 19, p2 equal to new key q. So new key object we are creating based on this p class and p2 reference. So in that case, based on this class and p2 reference, we are creating the object of this class. So in that case, this also will be applicable, p and q also will be applicable. So here we are doing p2.i, means p2.i means the default value will be printed, because this variables also will be applicable, this variables also will be applicable. So p2.i and p2.j. Now what they are doing, if p2 instance of q, p2 is a reference of p, instance of q is applicable. Yeah, p2 instance of q is applicable. Yeah, because we are creating the object of q class. So this is true. So once this true, again they are creating the object q2 equal to p2 object. So they are creating the object of q1 based on this p2 reference. So p2 is q type of object, p2 is q type of object here. So this p2, based on this p2 reference, they are creating the q object, and which instance is q2. That is also valid, not an issue. Now what we are doing, we are printing q2.i and q2.j. So if you run this program, you will get a output like this. So whatever the default value of ij, then again I, and then p2.i based on this reference and q.i. So these all will be printed. In that case, here q2.i is there and q2.j is there, means it is coming from q variable, q class only. So if you are doing this p2, that instance of q, and then created the object, and then we are printing q2.i and q2.j, so that class name also will come, class based on this variable's default value. So like that we have a one method is there, test1 method we have a, then we have a class r extending test2 method, then we have a manager 33. So in this manager 33 we have a main object created from r1 equal to new r, means r object has created, r is there on the top, this object. So this object has created, and based on the reference we are calling non-static method. So this is void type, means no return, test1, and non-static because we don't have a static, so non-static method directly we can call. And this was r1.test2 also. r1.test2 won't be applicable because r1 we don't have any r1 is a reference of r class, new r object. So r1 only, test1 is there, so it won't allow test2 here. If you use here, so you'll get a compile time error. Why? Because r1.test2 is not there in this r class, so undefined test2, you'll get a compile time error. Now what we are checking, we are checking condition r1 instance of s. R1 instance of S is there or not. If yes, then it will go for the inside this if conditions, or not, then else conditions will be satisfied. So here we don't have any else condition, so in that case only this will be printed form test, and then this one, because R1 and this not instance of S, R is instance of only R here, because this is the R object and R1 is not instance of S. S is different class and R is different class, and we created the object of R, not S. Here R we created. If you created the object of S, then R is the R1 is instance of R class also, and R1 is instance of S class also. But directly we created the object of R class, so only this will be applicable. So by default this link will be false and this done will be printed, and then so in this class X, class Y, class manager 2034 is there. We have a 3 class inside this 34. So other class also there is fine. Multiple class we can use. And first class have one static, non-static variables and non-static method. Second class non-static variable, non-static method. But they are extending Y class. So means inherit this property from parent class to child class. So this static variable, non-static variable and method will be inherited inside this Y class. So Y class should have two non-static variables, two non-static method, test1 and test2, because both are different type of method is there. If same method will be there, then override will happen, but different is there, then we can inherit the proper method. Now compiler will go for the main method first. So the main method is available in class 34. So class 34 compiler will go for the main method, and here they are multiple operations we are performing. So whatever the concept we clarify in this all the section, so these all operations we are performing here, like we are creating the object of x1, we are creating the reference, based on that we are calling test1, test2, again we are creating the object, again based on the other reference we are calling test1, test2, again we are creating some different class of object, and based on the reference we are calling the test1, test2. So what all are will be output will happen in that case. So this test1 and test2 is there from x and y's class method, and we are creating the object obj. So obj is a parent class which will be applicable, so we can create based on that. Either we can create based on the class name or subclass name also. So these all are things are there, like how we can check all those output from this. So this is your task, like you can check the output from 34, manager 34 and 35, what will be the output. If you understand this all from line number 22 to 47, then you will understand the object concept. So these all how we are assigning the value and how we are getting this call. So just take a reference this program. We have a package, we have one class X, we have other class Y, and we have a manager class. Inside this manager class we are doing multiple operations. So what all are the output for this first, second, third, fourth, total 25 operations we are doing here. From 1 to 25 you can check and see the output here. And then we have a manager 35. This is also revised topic, so whatever till now we cover for that is a combinations, like class P we created, class Q we created, class R we created, we are extending PQ, then manager 35 is there. Inside this manager 35 main method is there, creating the object, calling, then creating the Q, calling this variable, creating the again P, creating again Q, creating again R, creating again P object, then creating again Q, and then we are checking instance, then again creating the object, again we are checking the instance, again we are checking the instance and all. So just you go through this and just revise the topic for these two program only. Whatever the concept till now we cover, all this concept will be here in line number manager 34 and 35. So section 7 completed here. Now section 8. So in this section 8 we will see some less program is there, only 7 to 8 program is there, which will be checked here. Array. So first we check what is array in Java and how many type of array is there.
बात करे सो दूसरा का पासवर्ड करते हैं तो लगा इनमें के बंद हो जाए रिकनेक्टिंग हो जाए
न साला के एग्जाम्पल सॉकेट है क्या है न साला हाँ स्कैन कर लो धीरे धीरे आवाज नहीं निकल. So here we have a array concept. So in Java we have a array. So array is used to store multiple value in a single variable instead of declaring separate variables for each value. So to declare the array, define a variable type with square bracket. So how we will declare this array? So this is, see here, a string. This is a string type and a square bracket car. इधर नरसारा चलेगा, नरसारा चलेगा मतलब बिशनपुर चलेगा इधर. So we have now declared a variable and hold this array string to insert the value. If you are place a value in a comma separator list inside this curly braces. So how we are declaring, like we have a multiples value is there. Suppose we have a car. So in this car we have a multiple type car is there. Like Volvo is there, BMW is there, Ford is there, and others is there. So in that cases we created the string type because these all are a string type. So if you are using double quote of any naming or anywhere, so this double quote will have a string. So first we create the string array. So a string is a data type which I have declared, and open braces curly braces is a square bracket. This square bracket is a string type, means this is array. A square bracket a string type of array, and which for which array car type. So car should have a multiples cars will be applicable. So equal to open curly braces close curly braces, and here we have a multiple type of data, similar data type we can use. So that cases we are using array. So if you go here, so this in Java and tutorials point also is there, Java array or T point also you can refer. So what is Java array? How many type of simple word is this array? The array is a data structure which value is or items can be placed in a linear order, which means memory assign each items in continuous. So array type of same for all the element present in this data type for an array is the same for type of all the element present. So mostly is used for this array for this memory locations and all. Why continuous memory locations? Because it easier to find out this memory location and element any, just knowing the first memory location and adding this offset. So that's these all are the way we are using this array. So we have a multiple indexings and there. So we have a multiple type of arrays there, like single dimensional or multiple dimensional type of array, 2D array or multi dimensional array is also there. So here we had see this examples. Hello world is there inside main method. We have integer type of array is there because this is a square bracket. Integer type of array is there. So array name is my array or any name of. So integer type means similar data type should be allowed. Either 1 to n number of data type will be allowed in array. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 up to 100 200 and all. So in that cases all will be applicable only integer. If you make it as a string, then a string type of data will be allowed. If you make as a float, then float type of data will be allowed. If you make as a character, then characters type data will be allowed in array. So just go through this Java array, like what is Java array and why we are using, and some simple examples also there inside this W3 or Java T point and tutorials point, whatever you want. Just here we have some simple exercise also there, and just basic concept is there. How we will change the element in array, access the element of array, and then how we will create a array, then what is array, why we are declaring this array. So array is used to store multiple value in a single variables instead of declaring separate variables for each value. To declare this array, we can define a square brackets and all. So here we will consider array in this. So we have a multiple class is there, like class A, class B. Class A have test1 method, class B have also test1 method, but here we are extending. So this is inheritance concept, class A, class B. So class B is extending from the class A, means class A is the parent class. So for parent class is extending the child class. So whatever the common data is there, like similar type of method is there, same name and same parameters is there. So this is also 0 parameters argument, this is also 0 argument, and test1 method same name is there. So while we are extending from this parent to child class and same parameters, same method name and signatures will be there, in that case method will be override. So overriding will happen. Overloading will happen in a single class, similar class, same class, but overriding will happen from this different class while we are extending from parent to child concept, inheritance concept. And then we have a manager one. So in this manager one we have a main method. So compiler will go for this main method, and in this main method we have a two object created. So we declare a package here. Now in main method we have a two object, a1 equal to new a, b1 equal to new b. Now see here what we are doing, we are creating the array. So we mention a type of array is there, like integer type of, character type of, float type of. So a is a class, so for that class type of array we declare. A is a class, so a type of array with braces. So this is the bracket, a type of array, a square bracket is there. So a type of array, and array name is x, which has defined a1 and a2. So this is a class type we declared. Inside that reference we can use. So multiple reference we can use. Suppose if you created multiple object in this single method, like 10 method object you created, so all reference is a1 a2 a3 a4 a5 a6 like that. So if you created a array of the class a1 type of array, or b1 type, or c1 type, or d1 type, based on that you can take all the reference. Now what we are doing here, we have a for loop. This is a loop, which for loop, so that also we can cover, like what is for loop, each loop, for, if else, for and all. So for loop in Java, so this is the for loop. If you will go here, see for loop have a three statement. when to know exactly how many times you want to loop through this block of code, use for loop instead of while loop. So we have for loop, while loop, do while loop, if else conditions and all. So when we will go for this, so for loop have three statements: a statement first, a statement second, and a statement third. So first statement, what will we do? Like one time before this execution code block, so it will be executed. First time will be executed, and then second statement define check the conditions, and third statement will execute every time after the code block has been executed. So we'll see here like example. So suppose if I want to print this number from 0 to 5, less than 5, 0 to 4. So till 5 element I want to print, which will be a start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 element. So we mention the for loop, like first is the executed conditions. I will be a start from 0. So integer type of I, which will be 0 assign and starting. Now we will check the condition. If I value is less than 5, then only we will execute. And once this conditions has satisfied, then again we will execute this last statement I plus plus. Increment decrement we cover on the first class. So this increment is happening here, I plus plus. So what will be the output in this case? Because this is the for loop. So in this for loop, suppose if your requirement you want to print large number of data, so by using loop, in that cases we will use this for loop. So for I will be a start from 0 will be executed. 0 is less than 5, I plus plus. Now next element is 1. So I is 0 printed. Then 1 will be checked. 1 is I equal to 1. 1 is less than 5 is fine. Yeah, I plus plus means I's value is 2. Here I1 is printed like this. So these things will be checked once this I is less than 5. If I 5 is less than 5 means this conditions will not satisfied in this case. So like that we are using here condition check. So I equal to 0, I is less than x. So x is the reference of this array. X is the reference of this A array. Inside we have two things, two element A1 and B1 is there. So x1 dot length, because this array is there, so if we have a multiple data, then we have to check the length of this array length. So what is array length? So array length is 2, 0 and 1, which will be a start from 0 to 1. 0 start from 0. So 2 means 0 1. So 0 index of 0, A1 is there, index of 1, B1 is there. So we need to check the length of this, because here what we are checking, the size till when we have to satisfy the conditions. So like that we are here checking this length, and then we are doing increment, and then we are running this x dot I. X is the this array x dot I means this execution I equal to 0 1 2. So length, how many length is there? 2 means 2 time will be executed, 1 and 2, 0 and 1 will be executed. So and then I plus plus. So these 2 times test will be executed, this test 1 will be executed, but this test 1 is already overridden from this class B. So what will be the output? We will ask tomorrow for this. This is the array concept, and where we are considering inheritance also, and for loop also, increment also. So in this program we are what is a for loop, and what is increment, what is array, what is inheritance, and what is overriding. So these all concept will be considered here, and how what is object creating an object. So these all are we are doing inside this concept. So tomorrow we'll see this output. We will ask everyone what will be the output for this. We have a test 1, test 2. In B class manager we are creating the object of AB, and then we have created the array of A, and we have a 2 reference, A1 object reference, B1 object reference, and then we have created the loop for loop. So in this for loop we are starting from 0, and here we are checking the length of array. So length of array is 2, means start from 0 and 1. So there is 0 1. So length of array is 2 here, and then I plus plus. So this will be a start from 0 and 1 two times, and then 2 times this test method will call xi 1 times 0, xi 1 times 2 1, and this test method will be called, and here test method will be overridden from this parent to child class. So what will be the output? So tomorrow we will ask this output. Can you go through this also? And line manager 34 and 35 program also. Just you go through that, like what will be the output and all. So tomorrow we will try to execute, or else uh, we will show you that also. And please go through this all topic which we discussed, like instance of array, loop, instance of, and object class, object creation, casting, instance of, object class, object creation, array, and loop. So these things we are covering in this next section. So section 8 will be complete tomorrow, and then we have a start section 9 in the same day, tomorrow only. Is that fine? Okay, so here we are closing this session. If any doubt, tomorrow we will take this doubt also. Thank you everyone. बोल